Hello, my favorite CopperCube persons. So basically, as you already see from the title, we're doing something really stupid today, and we're trying to implement our own MMORPG with CopperCube and also Node.js. Uh, Obviously, we won't do everything in a single video because there's quite a lot of stuff to do, and I thought it's a good idea to actually separate the functionality between multiple videos, and we're going to be doing it in the following fashion. So we will have like some sort of core functionality, which in our case it will be, let's say, just movement for today. And then we will do some more functionality over it in the second video, something I'm not quite sure what, and I'm not sure if the second video will appear when we'll do some more functionality, some more, and so on. We will receive, I hope, something. Well, anyway, I won't be talking too much this time, and I'm also not prepared at all. So let's just see what we can do, and if it works, if it works, if I uploaded that video, I mean, something is working. So basically, let's just create a new CopperCube project, new 3D app. Let's remove the cube. It's like Blender, right? So the same stuff. And I already prepared some of the models and stuff like that, so we can simply start filling our scene with objects. First of all, let's start with a skybox. I have these three skyboxes from, I'm not sure where. I'm not sure if I can use it actually, them. But I mean, it's not a commercial project, so obviously I probably, not obviously, I probably can. This is the back side. This is the downside, which is right here. It's gray, but it's okay. I mean, we're doing it in a cheap and dirty way. This one will be forward, so it will be, I guess, this one. Nope. This one. All right. Nope, it wasn't correct the first time. Anyway, we will figure out. This one will be left, which is this one, I guess. Um, no, was it? Yeah, okay, this was left. So this one is not correct, and this one should be right. Boom, right. And it's this one. Yeah, so now we have everything except the sky, which we don't really need, to be honest. Oop. We will fix it later. Anyway, so then, as I mentioned before, in this video, we will only be doing like some simple movement. So for simple movement test, I will be making the flat plane. The plane will have 10 textures, 10 sectors. I'm not sure, 10 tiles actually, in row and column both. So it will be 100 tiles in total. We will need that later. It will be 100 on width, 100 on length, and we will do repeat texture count. Okay, this will be 10 and this will be 100. Let's see. Yeah, it seems about right. So now this thing should be like 100 here and 100 here, and we will have 10, 10 boxes in each row. Let's just put it in 0 position, but we don't really need actually 0 position here. I want the whole thing. So if this is X axis, this is Y, I want 0 to be basically here. So I want this corner to be in 0 position. So I will do like 50 and 50 here, or 500, oh no. Yeah, so basically now it just starts at 0, 0 here. And let's apply the texture. Not sure if I edited it. I guess I did, but yeah, so looks awesome. Just everything is green on green. The very last thing, let's just add our placeholder for the game character, which will be, where is it? Night. Oh, okay, it's a texture. We need animated mesh, night 4, because I had 4 revisions of it, as you might guess. And let's just put him at, let's say maybe 15, 0, 15, something like that. So he's right here. Let's apply the texture. Good enough. Now let's go to animation editor and fix the animation names because I obviously didn't animate it. I just uploaded to Mixamo and made animations with Mixamo. This is actually, and this model was actually supposed to be used in another game, so it has some animations that we don't need, and we only need like idle and run for this part. Let's say it's idle, and okay, we need to save it. MMORPG. Let's go to game. Let's call it client. And now the last thing that we need is a camera. Let's just do a third person camera. It will follow our animated mesh. Let's call it player. Let's actually rename everything. So this will be ground and this will be cam for short. We will set this camera into the player position first. And now we will move it a bit higher and a little bit behind the player. So it looks okay. We also go to behavior and we'll set target height to 3 maybe. A little bit too high. Let's say 2.5. All right. I think that... Oh, okay. So that looks awesome. Just perfect. And the very last thing that we will add, we will also require a little marker, which will show where do we point our mouse right now. And I'm going to use a simple green color texture here. Materials, solid. Yeah, like that, I think. I think it will work, and we will just call it marker. Okay, so this is basically our scene. So what would be the idea behind that? Basically, we will not do the direct controls. Instead, we will do mouse controls. So wherever I click somewhere in the field, the character should turn to that direction and also start moving into that direction. And then I can click another somewhere else, and basically they should follow. Also, let's just go to publish really quick and also enable FPS. It's here in general. Yeah. So this is for the scene setup, and this was the easy part, the simple part. Let's now do some coding, the thing that we like the most. I'm going to my extension folder, open my favorite editor here, and we will start with the cursor first. So as I mentioned before, we will be doing it in a sort of iterative way. So first of all, we will do everything really simplistic, and then we will make stuff more complex. So I'm just copying my behavior template. I will call it MMORPG, and I will call it like controller or something. Doesn't matter right now because I'm going to rewrite it later. Let's rename it everywhere in the file, and let's call it MMORPG controller 0.1, so we know what the version is. We won't be needing any parameters because, I mean, we're doing it in a, as I mentioned before, we're doing it in the simplest and dirtiest way, so we won't do it any parameters. Instead, we will just declare some local properties of the class. First of all, we will need our player character. And we will do getSend from name, and I believe it was called player. I think I called it player. When we will do, we will need our marker, which will be not from name, and we will call it marker. And the variable, I think we will also need a variable which we will call target position. So this is the position where the player should move, basically. I'm not sure if we actually need this variable, but I guess we need it in order it for to be shared with the network action. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to implement this functionality. There I can move my mouse and the marker will appear on the ground. And if I click the left mouse button, this variable target position will receive the value of the coordinate that I just clicked on the ground. So for that, what we need to do? First of all, we need let's just do var everywhere. Mouse to get mouse to D position. So basically, I mean 3D position. So it's there. The mouse cursor is currently located. For that, we will simply do 2D position or 3D position from 2D, and we will pass mouse coordinate there. It's pretty simple in CopperCube. Let's just get mouse position X and oops, the same for mouse position Y. Then the next thing that we need to do is we need to basically currently, if you just print it out and see what it does. I need to attach the behavior first. Sorry. Let's go to plugins, reload and verify. Let's go to scene, behavior, and just add our MMORPG controller here. And as you can see, it just shows like some really weird coordinates. I'm not sure actually how does it get it. To be honest, I have no idea. But the thing is that we can actually raycast from our camera to that position. And in case the ray which goes from our camera to that position here, if it hits the ground, it will give us the collision position, which is exactly what we need. So what we're going to do is we're going to raycast. First of all, yes, we also need a camera. Let's just reference camera here. Oop, camera, and I called it cam, I think, cam. Let's just get camera position. Scene node property with camera position, like that. And now we will raycast. So we will just do something, it's called something world with line. We will need as a starting point, it will be our camera. So it will be cam X, cam Y, cam Z. And here we will have our target will be mouse 3DX, mouse 3DY, and mouse 3DZ. And this will be our world position. Let's call it like that. It's a really stupid name, but whatever. Let's just print it for really quick and see if it works. So now, as you can see, if I'm pointing somewhere, it gives me the world position because as you can see, Y position is 0. And since our plane is flat, it's always on 0. So it seems to be working. And if it doesn't collide with anything, it will give us just 0, not a vector, which is totally perfect. So now what we're going to do next is we're going to put our marker, our cursor to that position. So if world position, that's it, if world position, in that case, we will just do set scene node property. Okay, no, we still need like the brackets because there will be two things here. We will do like set scene node properties. This will be our marker position, and position will be world position. And we will also say that our target position. Nope, we won't do it. We won't do that. So for now, this seems to be okay. Let's just see if our marker starts to move. Oh, no, it doesn't. And so this is really stupid. That's just because we have collision here. And every time we do it, it basically collides with itself and start to move it into the camera direction, which is pretty stupid. Now, yeah, so we have it. I think we got it. And if we don't point on the world, it just just stops at the latest coordinate. And also let's just scale it down a bit. So scale it down really really big because it's too large. And now it's too small. All three maybe. I don't know. All three should work anyway because I mean I'm just too bored to change it. Okay, I think it does the job. And the very last thing, since we want the this target position to be set, we're going to do it here on mouse event. So now if we say that event is free, which is left mouse click, actually this is left mouse press event, we will say that target position will equal to this okay, what we can do, marker position. Let's say that we just get signal property, and we will say this marker and position like that. And so now we will also print target position for debugging purposes. So now if I click left click, it will give us some sort of position. That's great. Basically, this is almost all that we should do on the client side. Now, the interesting part, we're going to start implementing our backend. I don't even have a folder for that. Let's call it server. I'm going to be using Node.js as usual. If you don't know what Node.js is, you probably should Google. You verify that you have Node.js installed like that. I have version 17 for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I mean, whatever. 17 is the latest one I have installed. Doesn't matter for now. And I'm going to initialize the new NPM project. And now there are a couple of things, not couple. For this video, it's just only one thing that we need to be installed is we need to install Express. Express is a web server for Node.js, which is my favorite web server for Node.js. Enjoy using it a lot, and I can recommend it to anyone. And now I'm also going to open my Visual Studio Code here, and I'm going to create an index file. So index file will contain our logic. So basically what the idea is on the servers, on the client side, you will click left mouse button. So imagine this is mouse and you click left mouse button. It will result in some sort of target where the character should go, and this target will be sent to the server. When on the server, it will be somehow, calculated and stuff, so on. But I mean, this is the idea for now. This is what we're doing right now. So since CopperCube doesn't really have that much, that great, network compatibilities, we're going to be using the only thing which is available for us, and which is called, how is it called actually? Something like do HTTP request, which does get request to the server. It's not the best approach, but it's the one which I'm usually doing, and this is one that is working for CopperCube 6.6. Maybe in 6.7 it will change, but for now it's just that. So first of all, we need to establish our server, and this is pretty simple with Node.js. We need to import JS first. JS Express first. We need to create a new instance of request listener, when we will just do some sort of like get test URL. Let's just call it test. In order to see that it works, we will have our request object, our response object, and in the response, I will send some line, hello from server. And we'll listen on port 300. If you don't understand what is happening here, I strongly encourage you to read about Node.js and Express. It's actually simpler than it looks. And we will say like listens on port 300 for us to know that something is working. Yeah. And now we will just do node index. What I did, I just opened the command line in the same folder. So as you can see, I'm inside C CopperCube. Once again, if you don't know what command line is, you should learn it yourself. And as you can see, now we're listening on this port, and we need we need to check if our thing is working like that, and also add test here. So we will get our message hello from server. This is how GET requests work. Basically, yeah. So first of all, the very first thing which we need to do is we need. Could you please stop? Nope. What happened? Why don't you stop? I don't know. Something's wrong with it. All right. So basically, the very first thing that we need to do is we need to somehow send data to the server. And as I mentioned before, we will be using this HTTP GET request from the game, but basically we will be using it in sort of like an interesting way. So I think I won't describe it because I won't be able to describe it properly. I will just create a new action and I will call it MMORPG get data, because it will just allow us to get data from the server. And I will rename everything to get data, and I will call it MMORPG get data version 0.1. I don't usually put this 3C here. And so yeah, basically we will just go to our application, we will do plugins reload and verify, and in our main scene I will add another behavior which will be triggered every few seconds, and for interval ms I will say 100 milliseconds, which means that I will be only sending my request to the server 10 times per second, which is really not that often, as you might guess. And basically, this is done for multiple purposes. I can't, in CopperCube, this CCB send get request function is not at performance, so you won't be able to send it every frame. You won't be able to send it 60 times per second. And also, since the server which I'll be using is just a toaster with some sort of processor, maybe, I'm not quite sure if it actually have a processor, it won't be able to handle that much requests. So we will only send 10 requests per second, but it will work somehow in the future. And I'm going to add my MMORPG get data request here. I forgot to remove the property which we don't need, and we can also do some testing here. In order to make that, in order to make sure that everything works, we will just do start our server once again, and here we will do CCB, do HTTP request to our local host 3000.test, and then in function we will just simply print out our data, which will be hello from server. So if everything is working right now, we will get hello from server. And as you can see, okay, FPS is fine. FPS is more or less fine, 63. So we're getting data from the server. So now, the thing is, another thing is that we have like a 3D game here, but on the server side, it will be sort of a 2D game. So I will handle everything as a 2D game on the server. This will also somehow work, I guess, but we will see how it's turned out. Basically, first of all, let's just start with player coordinates. default player coordinates are 15, 0, 15 for us, which is X, Y, and Z. And we will be only using X and Z. Y will always be 0 for us. So this is something that I'm going to send to the server. Yeah, so on my server side, I will just do some to-dos. First of all, I will say player should be a class, and I will just do like some player object. This will be temporary solution just because I think I have like 30 more minutes to do something, and it will be X and Y. So Y on the server will be X or will be Z on the client side. I know it's a bit confusion, but there's a reason why I'm doing it, because I'm thinking a couple of steps ahead. And so yeah, and once again, let's just think about what the next thing that we need to do. The same way, like how the game works. Usually it has a game loop, right? So it just repeats the same code multiple times. And this is something that we should also do on our server side. For that, I'm gonna be using like a really simple trick. I will just do set interval, and I will say that this function here will execute every 16 milliseconds, which means 60 times per second. And here, what I will do for test for now, I will just update player coordinate with player y, let's say, plus 0.001, something like that. I think it will be enough. So the idea is that we are going to get the player coordinate from the server, and we are going to update our character position on the client right now. So let's add another endpoint, which we'll call get something like update. I like the name update because it's sort of short and sweet. And what we need to do, we need to send so instead of sending a line like we've done here, we're going to set the player object. In order to send it, first we need to stringify it, which means we will make this object basically a string. So if we just go to Google and we open console and we just have this object here, let's change it to let. So if we just console log it, you will see that player is an object here and you can manipulate it. But we don't want the object. We need it to be the string. So what we will do instead, we will stringify this object. And now it's a string. And we can send it for the internet. This is also known as serialization. So you can serialize object on one side on your server, for example, and then you can deserialize it back to the object. So it's like object string and then again object. This is what we're doing here. So basically we signify our player and we will send it to the client. Let's just go to the client, change this URL to update, and we will see now what data will it send us. And now it just says that there is some sort of error because I've done something wrong. Let's just figure out it really quick. So we have update, stringify, player. This one seems to be correct. And here we will have 300. Okay, it's just because, yeah, I'm sorry, I just need to sort of used to daemon and I need to restart everything. What? Extension? I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to make everything fast and you know how it turns out. Not index.js, listens on 300. So now if we go here, we can see that we receive our data and our y coordinate is changing constantly. So here lies the issue with CopperCube. CopperCube doesn't actually have this magic JSON object. So there is really there are actually the ways to deserialize that or send like this data in some sort of different format. But what we're going to do instead, we are going to use um, the polyfill for that, which I already have somewhere, and I'm just copying it. I will also post the code, I guess, somewhere. So this will be our, I don't need var. I'm not in a strict mode, so this will be our JSON polyfill. It will have exactly the same methods parse and stringify, which like the real implementation has. And I'm going to put it here in our controller, but it will also be available inside our action because it's a global variable. So now if we just JSON parse this data, and then we will try to access X, for example, we will see that now we should be able to get the X value, which is not that fun because it doesn't change. So let's just do it with Z. Oops. Oh, it's not Z, it's called. Yeah, I mentioned it will be confusion, and it's also confusion for me, but we will manage. What? Sorry for that. Once again, I'm just messed up something. Yeah, I forgot to break it. Let's just do it again. So now we have the Z coordinate, which is changing. And as you can see, we are already far somewhere because it's updating no matter what. It happens not on the server side, or not on the client side, it happens on the server side. So since the server is running for some time, it always updates here. Yeah, so now the next thing which we need to do is we need to start updating our characters position, which is pretty simple. So we will have our data, which we'll call just which we'll just do like that. So it will be data, and we will get our player from name, get player. I just do get player. Node from name, which will be player, and this will be a player node. And we will say that we need to set in node property player node position, and then we will say new. Do we need a new vector? Let's just do new vector data x. For y we will always have 0. If we have like some heals or something like that, we can change it in future, but for now it's just a flat plane, so we will just have 0. And for z we will actually have y from the client, but I mean, this is how it is. And let's just stop the server once again. I think I need to stop it. I can't stop it with Control C because it has this set interval here, but I will figure out how to do it offline. And now if we just start our game, we will see that our character is actually start moving. And this value, let's just stop the server. As you can see, it also stopped because it doesn't get any data anymore. So we can just, on the server side, we can just go here and also do console log player y, and we'll just start the server again. What index? And you can see the position is updating. And if we just start the game, and we will move it to the left, and we will set it here, we will see that as our position is updated on the server side, our local position for the client is also updated. So this is the most basic client to server communication that we can get. But now there should be a tricky part. We need to actually do some sort of movement, right? So from one position to another. How do they do that? I don't know. No, I know. I think I know. Let's just figure it out. But this is the most complex part, and I still have like 30 minutes to do that. Basically, what we need to do here in update, first of all, we need to get our URL parameters. Since we are using the GET request, we won't be able to use the body, request with bodies. So no post or pulls or something like that, only gets, and we will send our update request using this like params thing. So what will it do? Let's just start node index started again and go to our browser and we'll see. Then go here. Nope. Okay. So let's just go to localhost 3000 update, and here the data that we're getting. And as you can see, our parameters are blank. But if we do it like that, for example, x, it will also show us nothing. This is because what? Because I guess it's not params. I think I might be. Is it query here? Let's just try it with the query. Yeah, as I mentioned before, I come not prepared because I thought it will be fun, and it is fun for me. And let's just, oh, we don't need game. Let's just do it again. Oops. So now we can pass the parameters. So that way, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just pass some parameters here, which will be, for example, a type, which will be, let's say, target. Oops, server, please do. Okay. And I will also send the x coordinate, which will be something like 50 or some number. And I'm also going to send like the y coordinate. I will call it y, even though in the reality it will be z, and it will be some our value. So this is the object which I'm going to be sending to the server from client. And this is, as you already probably understand, this is something that we hold in our target position variable. So when I click on the left mouse button, this target position is recorded and then it's sent to the server. Basically, what we need to do next, first of all, we need to make sure that we actually got this value. For that, I'm going here, and this will be our data model. I would say that if request query and then there is a target, not like that, just like that. In that case, I would say that target position, I will add the target position property here, which will also be now. Let's just okay, let's just do it like that. Target x, which will be like now, and then target y, which will be now. So we will say that if a request query target, we will do player target x equals to req query, and we will get x, and we will also parse float in order to get the float value, and we will do the same for y. My laptop is making strange sound. I'm not quite sure if you can hear it. I hope you cannot. And still, even though we have like this block of logic here, we still need to send player data back. So we still keep this communication channel opened, and we also don't need the test thing anymore. So we will just remove it. So basically, I think with that we can test that our object receives this data. So for that, we'll just do console dir, and we will say like player here. And now let's just start our server again. Let's go to our application. And now if you're clicking somewhere on the server side, nothing happens because I think I didn't because I'm stupid. I didn't add the logic on the client. It's just I'm just doing stupid stuff. So basically, what we need to do here, we need to actually pass the data to the server. So uh, we need to do it like that. Let's just say, um, let's just edit this one to the variable, and we'll call it URL. And in case this property target position actually exists, if it's not now, let's say it like that way. In that case, we will add some parameters to our URL. First of all, we will add the question mark, which will mean that we will have some parameters. Then we will put our first parameter name, which will be target, and we will make it equal to our to our um, to our target position x, and then we will do plus end. I'm not sure like how is it called actually, but I mean this symbol. We're doing this symbol, and we will say that x equals to, oh, not target position. It's, I messed everything up. So it's this sound is so annoying, to be honest, that I'm just messing things up. So it will be type target, and for x we will do target position dot x, and then we'll do another and for that we will do y equals plus target position dot z. So and after everything is done, we will also make sure that our target position is null again. So that way we won't be sending the data all the time. Only then left click occurs. All right, so let's just start the server once again. For some reason, Control C start working now. And now if we're sending something, oops, nothing happens, right? Nothing happens. Up, up. Nope, nothing is happening. Why is it so? Let's figure it out. So basically, let's just make sure that we are actually here at some point. So now if we just open our game and click, we are not getting there for some reason, because target position, I guess it's just target position, it's just always null. Why is it happening? Because it's here, we have a target position equals to, it should be a global variable. Okay, might be, nope, it doesn't make sense. It should be global variable. So until it's null, but now it's not null, it's just the marker position. Everything seems to be, if you do it like that, not now, or just, that's super weird. Something is obviously wrong here, but what is wrong? It should work. Target position is now, and it doesn't work. So let's just print target position every time. The thing with CopperCube, it's not that simple to debug. It doesn't even print it. Why? Because it definitely should, because since we're executing this, but it doesn't even print it. Maybe I have the game. I know, guys, what is happening. So basically, I think that, yeah, that the client wasn't closed properly. Okay, let's just restart CopperCube really quick. What happens sometimes that you're making a networking game in CopperCube? Basically, the thing is that this file uh, here inside the game folder, it never got overwritten because it's busy with the process. It doesn't close properly, and this is exactly what happened. I was not making like any online games for quite some time, so I already forgot that this feature actually exists. So now, as you can see, like we're sending data, and it's actually not now for a couple of it's not now for okay. So this is how it. So this is a proper way, yeah. So now everything should be sent. and we just need to make sure that our client is updated right now. So what I will be doing, I will be just removing client exe, and this is what is happening with CopperCube. So now if we go here and let's just do it like query target, this seems to be proper. Let's just double check everything once again. So type is target, is a type, because we need to type. Yes, I messed everything up. So we verify that the type property exists and that it's equals to target. And in this case, we will just do it like that. So now I think everything should work. Let's just start the server again. Let's just go to our game and make sure that there is no exe. Let's just run our thing and let's just do it like that. And as you can see, now we are sending target to our game server. And I freaking have 15 more minutes, so I need to really speed up. First of all, let's just stop the server. Let's just make sure our client can be removed so it's not busy with any process, and let's remove this logic from here. So now we have our target position and we have our current position, and we can send it back to the client. And we also receive the target position from the client. So what the next thing that we need to do now is we need to do some simple logic. I will create another function, which I will call move player. We will reuse it for when we will have multiple players. And we will receive like a player here, which will be like a player object. And what we will verify is that if player target x not equals to null, and also player target y is not equals to null, we need to update our x and y coordinates. So how do we do that? Basically, the very first thing that we need to do is we need to calculate an angle on which we need to rotate our player. For that, we are going to do the following math. We will go into do math 8 and 2. Here, the first parameter will be, so this will find a tangents, a10. I'm not sure, like, so basically this is a trigonometry function. We will say player target position x minus player x minus player x, and we will also have like our player target y minus player y. So that way we will get an angle on which we should rotate our player, and we will also add an rotation y angle here, and it will be null by default. So because we don't have any rotation here, so the rotation will be only on y axis. X and z, we won't touch them. So yeah, this will be null, this will be 50 now, and so on. And so now we will say that this is like player y road. We won't say it, we will just set it. Player road y equals this thing. And so basically, this will calculate us the player rotation, and we will add this move function to our move player function to our main loop. Oh my god, this is so confusing. If you still here, like, for you, yeah. So basically, we have something to send to the server now, some real data to update. So we have like rotation y. And let's see if this actually works in CopperCube. So in our action function here, we will now also have the property which is new player road y. and it will be data road y. If I remember it correctly, let's just say like set rotation. Oops, I called it player row. It's just road y, yeah. And so for now, we can also, what we can do, we can just set scene node material. No, we can't set material, but there is no reason to do that. Scene node property, player node, rotation, and then we will say it like new vector 3D. It will be 0, data road y multiplied by 180 and divided by pi. This is needed because JavaScript by default calculates everything in radians, and we need to transform them to Euler coordinates. And what? Oh, okay. We don't actually need this property. I'm not sure why I did it in the first place. And we will start the server. We will go to our game folder, verify that we don't have the game running here. And now if we click somewhere, as you can see, our character is rotating to that direction. And basically we get this data from the server, obviously, which is pretty cool. As you can see also, it's a little bit laggy for now, but we will fix it in the future, probably, or maybe not. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I also quite surprised I get this one from the first time. So this is what. So this is the something related to rotation. Now we need to actually move player, and we will also make a to do here because we will use real player speed here. But for now, it will be just some sort of constant or something like that. So what we need to do now, as we calculated this angle, we will update our player position. So player position x will be incremented by math. I think it's sinus. Oh, if someone tells you at school that math is not, someone tells you that math won't find any use in real life, just don't listen to them, because at some point you will face it like me right now, and you will be so confused because this is what I am. I'm not sure if I can say it like that. Once again, I'm running out of time. I need to do it really quick. So now we have like player rotation y, and do we need to multiply it by something like 0, 0, 1, which will be the speed, and we will do the same for y. So player rotation, but this will be cosinus. And also we add another to do here is to use delta time, which we obviously don't have time to do right now. And we will just shut down the server, start it again, make sure we can remove the client. We will start the game. And now if you click somewhere, as you can see, we start moving in the direction, and we actually move really slow. So let's just increment it like that. It will be too fast. Freaking God. All 7. I think this will be great. And once again, we just stop server, restart server, make sure we can remove our client and start client. And now if we click somewhere, we can sort of go there. Yes, as you can see, now it's really janky, but this is something that we will update in the future. And the issue now is that if we come to the destination, we actually are stuck there. So what we need to do now is we need to verify that we are close to the point. Basically, I think we can do it the following way. So if player x minus player target x absolute value of this. I think I'm doing something wrong here, but doesn't matter. Is less than 01, and also I think we need a distance check. We will just update it to distance check in later release. In later release, do distance check. Or should I do it right now? Oh, it doesn't matter. Just do the stupid thing right now and whatever. So we will say that target X here will be null again, and we will also set player target Y to null. So basically what it does, it checks that our X and Y coordinate is reached, which is like really stupid way. I'm not sure why I even done it. It should be just a distance check. And then it says, and then it sets target and Y, X and Y positions to null again. And we will just once again, the whole thing, we will just restart the server. We will make sure our client could be removed, and it's removed already. And we will start the game, and if we click somewhere, if we reach the position, we hopefully should stop. Yeah, it looks fine. So for now, okay, so we almost there. The very last thing which we need to do is we need to set player animation. I think that will make sense. So we'll control player animation also on backend for this scenario. So here, in case we have this thing, we will say that player, let's just do another property. Let's just say animation or anim for short will be idle. Is it called idle? Let's just keep it conventional so we don't have to, not conventional, I mean consistent between different parts of the project. So it's idle and it's also run. So by default will be idle, but in case we're moving, the animation will be run. And also in case we stopped here, the animation will also be idle. And in case we don't have target X or target Z, we will say that player animation should be idle too, like that. So now we need to update the client part. Here we will set rotation, set animation. We will say that we need to set in node property player node animation to the data anim. I'm not quite sure, but I think this should work. I guess this should work. Let's just see if it does. So we just stop the server, restart the server. We go to our game, verify that we are able to remove our client, push F9. And if we go somewhere now, as you can see, we also play the animation and we are actually getting to location. And as far as you can understand, I mean, this is a stupid, I mean, as you understand, this location data is actually something that we get from the server. And once again, as I mentioned, right now, the movement is janky, but we will probably fix it in the next video. But yeah, but this was it. This is a basic communication between client and server, and I think this is a good start. I will post the code somewhere, I guess. And also like a lot of stuff to do, like speed, and just speed is it's just so slow, it's just annoying. Let's just make it a little bit faster. 111. I'll just paste the code somewhere and I'll give the links, and I'm really happy that it works. So I will probably post this video, and I'm looking forward for the next part. Okay, so it's even jankier if player moves faster. But this is it. 1 hour in time. I thought it will be faster. Anyway, see you next time. Bye bye.